Comparing the first Joker movie to its sequel, it is like comparing a Wagyu steak with a burnt bacon that somehow came from the same chef. The first Joker is a tragedy of a man who slowly lost everything he had, and just when you think he hit rock bottom, you saw he lost again and again until he completely broke down and is nothing but a corrupted shell carrying a Joker mask on his face. Personally, I never think the last scene of the Joker is Arthur Fleck finally triumphing after everything, but more like Arthur with blood smeared on his face and standing there in the middle of a cheering riot. It's a symbol of corruption of his earlier innocent wish. He just wants to make people laugh. This movie has superb acting, phenomenal cinematography, captivating storytelling that even though it is not a film about the origin of the notorious supervillain like I first expected, I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw. It is one of the few times that when I saw a movie, it did not give me what I was expecting, and I am okay with it. I can't say the same about the sequel. Unlike the first movie, laced with intensity of Arthur's unpredictable mental state and how his horrid living condition would contribute to his tipping point and draw audience completely in it, this movie is a pain to go through. I spent the longest 30 minutes of my life just watching how cruel and hostile this dark asylum treating its patients. And to be honest, I guess they were trying to set the mood just like the first movie to make us feel for Arthur and his living condition. But it did not feel the same. The first movie is set in a normal world where normal people working and living like you and me, and we see how horrid it is treating Arthur, a less than fortunate individual where he did absolutely nothing wrong, so we feel sorry and sympathize for his fate. But the second movie is in the asylum with Arthur locked up with people who are just as dangerous and unstable as he is, and it makes his pain significantly less than the first movie. In fact, if it was not for Joaquin Phoenix's extraordinary acting skill, I think I will feel even less for Arthur. The introduction of Lee and her first interaction with Arthur is very well done. Lady Gaga did a good job of portraying an insane and still quite charismatic love interest that has a very good match of energy to Arthur. How much of it is it Arthur writing or because it is Lady Gaga channeling her 2000 era? I don't know, but it worked for me. Even though it was boring and long and I think I blacked out at some point, at least the third act makes sense and introduces new elements to the plot. So when I thought something finally good happened when we moved to the second arc, it went downhill from there. This is like the people that made this movie severely misunderstood why people like the first movie. They doubled down on this arc and decided to add music in. No, I don't like the first movie because I like Arthur's insane psychotic tendency. I like the first movie because the way it carefully and geniusly reflects a very complicated and nuanced problem of our world without making it a bridge. How it dwelled deeply into the psychology of a very disturbed and problematic individual that slowly broke down as time goes by. And despite the heinous crime he committed, we understand completely why he did that with the length of the movie gave us. And still, even when we follow Arthur closely the whole movie, due to his condition, there is still so much ambiguity in his life and action that left us wondering long after leaving the theater. The second act of the movie just focuses on how Arthur is insane, how he is very unwell and far distant from reality and life. I know he is not insane. I saw him off sick people on screen and completely lose his mind in the first movie. They keep rewinding scenes from the prequel, and I personally just feel bored by it. I don't need to remind about the first Joker movie. I watched it already, and that's why I am here for the sequel. For the music part, I actually don't mind it because I at least could have imagined it as a colorful outline that temporarily disrupting this sleep-inducing repeating plotline and keep me awake till the end of the movie. This arc doesn't just feel boring and slow, but it is also wasting my time by repeating what had already been shown to me before. Nothing new in here, nothing developing, and nothing worth paying attention. And until the third arc, one particular disturbing scene happened that destroyed any goodwill I have left. Some may say that scene is an odd choice for the movie, but I feel like it is more for the shock value. I hated it and it made me from finding this movie boring to completely repulsive. This movie should not have been even existed in the first place because it unraveled so much mystery and ambiguous storytelling of the previous one. At least with this box office, there will be no chance of the film studio milking again what should have been a standalone movie. So that is my personal opinion. What do you think?